Hey everyone, Pastor Sheila here. Listen, I just want to say something that I'm always thinking about, and sometimes it just gets under my skin. For those of you wonderful leaders or churches or denominations that have praise and worship teams up and have not given them any resources, any tools to understand really what the dynamics of praise and worship is. It's not just about you holding a note and singing well to become a worship leader or be on a worship team. Many of you are guilty of just pulling people out of a choir, putting a microphone in the great leader singer's hand and having 3 people back them up like it's some type of group. Listen, that can be cute, but that is not praise and worship. Praise and worship is to be reverenced. Praise and worship is something that must be understood by the people who are in place to lead worship. The job is to usher in the presence of the Most High God so that God can do a work in the room. The job is to bring the glory, be a vessel yielded, that God would use you, that the manifested presence and glory would fall in the room, that the man or woman of God could get up and walk into that space as if they're walking into a glove. That is the job. The praise and worship leader and team, if you rehearsed 5 songs on Thursday and Sunday comes around and you get to song number 2, and the Spirit of the living God says, that's enough. I'm in the room. All flesh, back up. Back up. Forget about those other 3 songs that you want to sing. Your purpose is to lead people into the presence of the Lord. Most people don't know the 7 levels of praise. Most people don't understand the dynamics of praise and worship. Do you realize that when you get into the vein and take the job and stand in the ministerial office of leading worship, do you realize that the door and the gate is open for a whole nother level of spiritual warfare? Some of you may not even know why you got hit so hard when you moved from the choir and took that mic and got into the lane of being a praise and worship leader or singer. Listen to me. Praise and worship. Worship is a lifestyle. And it bothers me. It bothers me so greatly that even back in the day in the 70s or when this things started with the faith-based movement. Listen, when everything shifted, where things became more upfront in terms of contemporary, and it was mostly choirs in all these denominations, and a lot of them was kicking and screaming about having a worship team. But I've come to tell you that praise and worship is a tool that God uses to manifest his glory, where people bow down and get delivered. People bow down and receive the Spirit of God. You don't even have to blow on a person, touch a person. When God is in the room, he manifests himself, and we don't need anything else. Now, there are moments when God will cause us to pray for people. I know this is a long one. I know I'm usually in and out, but this has been bothering me. And I said, let me just go ahead and talk about it. Let me just talk about it. Those of you who are on worship teams, those of you that are leaders, if your life is not a life of worship, if your life is not a life of prayer, and you get in the vein of praise and worship, the enemy is not happy. And you might be wondering why you're getting attacked left and right. It's because you done stepped in another arena. This is just my first little doodad or my first little message to you. I just had to get it off of me. When it gets on me, I got to get it off of me. So listen, I love you so much. I'll be back with some more conversation about what? Praise and worship. And not just praise and worship, but what? The arts department, the liturgical dance. All of that is used for the manifested glory, and we must be yielded. Hallelujah. I'll see you again. I love you with the love of the Lord. Stay well. And remember, when nothing changes, nothing changes. So what do you got to do? You have to keep it moving. Stay yielded. I'll see you soon.